Hey Libra, welcome to your mid-January 2019 tarot and astrology reading. Welcome back if you're a regular here, and welcome to the channel if you're new. Please subscribe if you would like to. Okay, so Libra, the first off I want to talk about is that supermoon lunar eclipse in Leo. Okay, so for you, Leo is that 11th house energy. So it can range from anything to online dating, to friendships, to acquaintances, to the wider society, societal values. It's quite broad, really. But the very next day, so this eclipse is on the 21st, and on the 21st, Mars does this quite uncomfortable square off with Saturn. And Saturn is in Capricorn, but Mars is in Aries, so cardinal energy just like yourself. Leaders, and this can influence troubles in direction, particularly in your partnership, i.e. who wears the trousers. Or you may be dating someone that your family doesn't approve of. Saturn in Capricorn, 4th house energy. You may come into some disagreements about politics or different cultures over this period. Please do breathe, because Mars and Jupiter are going to be trining a few days later. Jupiter, Libra, is in your sector of communication. So your romantic, softer, sweeter side may get a voice a few days later. So it may have to mean an apology, I'm not sure. But this is going to be an interesting month for you. Of course, with the 11th house eclipse, a certain friendship or two that has long since lost its luster may be on the way out. You may purge your social media of people following you that you don't really want to be following you anymore. You may guard your privacy more intensely with the days that follow. For me, Saturn in Capricorn is actually making a lot of Libras very private. Very private indeed. Because there's certain things that when you say in the heat of the moment, you can't take back if you post them online or in a text. And I can tell by the fact no cards flipped out that you are kind of private right now. You're sort of doing a little bit of reassessment to who you want to talk to, and you're kind of looking for more calm in your relationships. 9 of Swords, anxiety. 8 of Swords, restriction. Ace of Swords, victory. 8 of Cups, challenge, the change, and the Tower. Okay, Libra. 6 of Swords. You're panicked, I know. You're looking at this and thinking, what? How can this be? Well, the Tower is more about rebuilding. It's kind of like when you know something's set up to fail, so you think, oh, I'm gonna have to start this over again. For a lot of you Libras, you walked away from something very destructive, and well done for that, because someone or something in your life is giving you anxiety and you've decided to take dedicated action to it. Ace of Swords is in your favor, so you are cleaning out house. You are cutting through the BS on other people's indecision, other people's lies. You're making a change forward. Now, you may be a little bit sad about this change, Libra, but you can't go on the way you've been going. You've been feeling restricted by something or someone. Oftentimes, we may find with Swords energy, particularly as there's no court cards here, we can often find with Swords energy that are restrictions within our own head. Swords represent mentality. So they're oftentimes mostly to do with the self rather than other people. Just fixing the light here so you can see. I feel like you can't see the top card. You can't see that Tower. Okay, here we go. So you are feeling like you need to make a decisive change. I think there may be a need to sidestep other people's drama. And it's a similar theme with Taurus, because this is the Venus influence. So because you're both ruled by Venus, because there has been a lot of tumultuous times with Venus, there was the retrograde late last year in Libra, your sign, and Scorpio. Scorpio is very private. And it returned for a lengthy stay in Scorpio and has recently exited and moved into Sagittarius, which for you represents communication. So you're no longer hiding what it is that you want to say. And you find that other people around you are no longer hiding. If you've suspected someone of hiding something, that seems to be coming to life. And you want to be calm. You hate confrontation. It may not be so easy to sidestep about one particular issue if the truth has been compromised by somebody else. 3 of Pentacles, recognition. I think it's a friend. I think it's somebody in your community, okay? Possibly a fire sign or an air sign. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. I think there may be a little bit of confrontation or a little bit of drama, okay? With the Tower, I do sense that you're letting something eclipse out, and as uncomfortable as it feels, you're giving up on something that once held a lot of your attention. 7 of Swords. Goodness, yeah, it's a truth commissioner right here. 8 of Swords, 2 of Wands. You're looking to go in a new direction. You want change. You want movement. 2 of Swords. You've been indecisive about this for a long time. 4 of Swords. Jeepers, Libra. Recovery. And the 3 of Wands. Thankfully, the outcome is pretty decent. And the 5 of Pentacles. Abandonment. Libra. Okay. This isn't bad. It's just you're conflicted about something or someone in your life. You feel as though someone was taking from you, someone was not being truthful for you, and you sidestepped it a long time because you didn't want this person to exit your life, or you didn't want this opportunity to exit your life, even though you maybe realized it was no longer for you. Okay? You're making a decision on that. Ace of Swords and 2 of Swords. You are removing yourself from a stalemate situation and making a decision, even if it seems hard. 5 of Pentacles, abandonment came out. So you are feeling like you have to abandon a plan or something abandoned you. I think 5 of Swords, conflict. Yes, conflict. You're feeling conflicted. I understand that. Someone... What's with all the swords? You're very worried about something, Libra. And it's more to do with you than anybody else, I must say. If I can think to the heart of the matter, Mars being in your partnership sector, yeah, you're disappointed in somebody or something, I think. That 5 of Swords keeps popping out like nobody's business. I think you're upset about somebody or something, and I think it's all coming to a head over the eclipse. I just feel like that's sort of... Yes, the star, finally. Bit of hope. Death card. The Magician. Justice. And the 2 of Cups. Wow, what a turnaround. And the 9 of Cups. Awesome. See? When we create a space, when we create a vacuum, universal law means something gets sent to fill it, right? So this thing that you've been holding on to and you're finally ready to let go of, because this has been a long time coming. Uranus has been coasting through your partnership sector. For those of you that were single, it was harder to get in and out of relationships than usual because you had this element of surprise sometimes against you. Relationships that came under this period may have had unusual circumstances or strange parts to them, but for a lot of Libras, it worked out very well, really. It just depends, okay? A lot of it is to do with the attention we pay to energies. So to have Uranus in your partnership sector could mean that you felt romance was very, very difficult because that seems to be the status quo of that sort of part of the sky. It's not really, okay? So a lot of it was to do with being clear on what kind of traditions you wanted, because Uranus is very not traditional. It's very freedom-loving and sort of rebellious. So if people tried to cage you in, oftentimes it wouldn't work unless they seemed a little bit unpredictable. So you may have had a tendency to surround yourself with unpredictable people. sort of fickle people at times. Uranus has not exited that part of the sky for you yet, and it will not do until March or May. One of the months beginning with M. Anyway, Uranus was never going to deny you a partnership, just an FYI. The full moon in Aquarius over the summer, I'm sure it gave you some difficulties. And some of you had to walk away from a very important relationship. And some of you, if you've never even been in a relationship or you're single for a long time, you've been going through a very deep transformation and sort of realizing that you may have had a heart and head disalignment in terms of romance, okay? So you may have had the idea that you wanted to be in a balanced relationship, but you didn't really. You kind of wanted to explore your options because you realize how creative and how much potential you have in terms of career and other things. You know, you sort of realize how many tools you have. With the Magician here, you have one very stable, very powerful sword, okay? Ace of Swords out of all the swords card is the most positive, and it's in your positive position. So you, Libra, are a lot stronger than you've probably assumed. You're a lot sharper. So, although you've been indecisive about certain things, although you've been unsure, it's actually gone in your favor. So you're wondering why? I'll tell you why. The Magician card is Gemini, Virgo energy. It's really Mercury energy. Mercury is fine at the moment. Mercury is in Capricorn. Again, 4th house, giving voice to your family members. I do sort of get the impression there may be a couple of fights in terms of family, you know, just sort of like unexpected blow-ups about things. And it's because a lot of people under this eclipse are feeling challenged or misguided. You know, what do people do under eclipses? So I was out under the solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Capricorn. It was only partial, but some people out and about were absolutely bizarre in their behaviour. I mean, really bizarre. You could see people be unusual, and someone actually said to me, "What is going on tonight that's got everyone acting so strange?" So the moon rules a lot of the time your mental health, believe it or not. That's why La Luna, that's why people used to get called, although this is very offensive in mental health, people used to use the phrase loony, you know, like the Looney Tunes, because they were kind of wacky and kind of strange. So when the moon is full, or even when the moon is going through an eclipse, people can be very, very emotionally temperamental, and people can suddenly just shut off or shut down or burst at the seams with some sort of information or some sort of point. People can also say things that they really, really, really don't mean, okay? So in context, people may say certain things under the eclipse that are actually to do with something else. You know, people don't always direct their energies in the right way, so be mindful of who's talking under this eclipse and do not judge too harshly, because you too will feel out of balance. Justice is in the challenge position with the 4 of Swords. You will be restless. You may not sleep very well over the eclipse, because the 4 of Swords is the challenge. You're finding change quite hard, and what you resist will persist. So in the lighter way, you have, quite like Taurus actually, I just want to point that out, there's a weird parallel from Libra and Taurus that's very significant. The Magician and the Star and the 9 of Cups, wish card, are all present for you. And so is the 2 of Cups. So there seems to be a partnership coming in for you. It could be business, it could be a job offer, like a job contract that you sign. Ace of Swords can represent contracts, so can the Magician. You're motivated to put yourself forward for some kind of one-on-one thing. So it's a partnership, it's an apprenticeship, it is a romantic partner, dating somebody. Some of you are narrowing down your numbers. In fact, some of you, as I say, when you release something from your life, you create a space and the universe will fill that space. Some of you have released a partner that was possibly deceptive with the Seven of Swords, or possibly just wasn't right for you, because sometimes the Seven can represent lying to yourself. Okay, so there was a loss there. It's being replaced by something else, and it's something that you've wished for. Okay, I get to think, Libra, it might be an Aries, just an FYI. But it may also be an air sign, so Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Now I will, in the extended reading, which is going to be on Vimeo, go into if you're dealing with each sign individually, so if you're dealing with an air sign, earth sign, fire sign, etc. So we will know more about the different people that have popped up in the reading. But while we're here, I'm going to clarify the Two of Cups and see what it is, because the Three of Wands is sort of, to me, you've kept your options open for a while. You've maybe had no options, and then suddenly maybe you've had a bit more excitement there. But I see an offer of a partnership, but I see the offer almost being sidestepped into just pure partnership. So I don't know. Page of Wands. Okay, it could be a fire sign. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Now, as we all know, I don't leave this on court cards. But I think a lot of you, it's a fire sign. The moon. Okay, scrap that. Some of you could have a water sign, particularly a Pisces. The King of Cups, the Moon, and the Ace of Pentacles. An offer of romance from a water sign who is quite private, who is keeping his cards close to his chest. Somebody that may have been looking at you for a while. May sort of have been scoping you out for a bit. Yeah. Somebody that's quite private comes out around the Leo Eclipse. They message you. You hear from this person. They might ask you on a date. Heck, some of you might be getting married or getting proposed to. That's for you in relationships, obviously. Huh. You're breaking down something that wasn't working to create something solid. Ace of Pentacles is the initial plan to build something. Three of Wands is the vision, the motivation to make something. Page of Wands is the creativity. King of Cups is the understanding. And Two of Cups is the actual connection. You're building something solid here, Libra, out of this tower moment. So you're using... you're scrapping the tower to build something better. Okay? Something was bursting at the seams, and now that it's taken care of, you can try something else. You can rebuild this tower with whoever you choose. I'm not telling you who. Unconditional love. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. The tower is there to be understood. True love. Wowza. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. Now, Libra, mention I may that the sun is moving into Aquarius, not to be overshadowed by this eclipse, but it kind of has been. But it's going to be in Aquarius until late February, the 19th. So just bear in mind, this is your romantic sector, and there's going to be a new moon. So this may not happen this month, it may happen next month under the new moon in Aquarius. But just bear it in mind. Okay. In fact, the star brings in Aquarius season. Ooh. Ooh. True love, Guinevere. It just reminded me of that Netflix series You. Isn't she called Guinevere? The girl Beck, her real name's Guinevere. Don't meet anybody in a bookshop. If you've seen that Netflix series, you'll know what I'm talking about. He's super freaky. Anyway, that's not to scare you. But I did say with the moon, this is someone that could have been watching you for a while. Oh, I freaked myself out. Okay, well, this is true love. True love. Two of Cups and Guinevere. What more could you ask for? It's definitely with a water sign or a fire sign, I feel inclined to say. I will, in the extended, go into the different signs kind of differently. I'm going to bear this in mind, though, because they have to be context specific to this. I love this for you, Libra. True love. True love. Imagine going from a tower to that. It looks like the grief, the aggravation was worth it, so don't worry, Libra. Take it chill. Just be content. This is on its way. Okay? See you guys in the extended if you want to go there. If not, I'll see you in February.